Hi everybody, this is Luisana for Pawsome Stamps. I am bringing you today this super cute card I made using the Playful Pandas stamp set. I am going to be doing a lot of coloring today, and I am not the quickest colorer out there, so it's gonna take a while. I decided to leave most of the footage here showing you how I achieved the look for the cute little pandas here so that you can learn with me. And it is very simple. I am just slow. I decided to start coloring my lighter areas before I moved on to anything with a darker tone. So I started coloring the white parts of the panda using a combination of cool grays in my colorless blender, and then for the bamboo I went with some greens. I decided to do 2 layers of coloring on the bamboo parts and I believe the darker parts of the panda, just so that they could show more of the definition a little bit better. And most of the time I do 2 layers of all of my coloring in every single thing that I do, but I did not feel like it was necessary to color the white parts of the panda with 2 layers. So here I am coloring the black portion of this cute little character, and I made a little mistake here. I decided I wanted to use 3 different shades of my cool grays, C8, C5, and C3. And by the time I was done with that, I quickly realized that I did not need that C3. And when I went back to do the second layer, I fixed it and I learned from my mistake, and I decided from here on out for the rest of them I am only going to use C8 and C5 because I want it to look more black than gray, and that just gave me the best result. For the inside of the ear right there, I am going to use my darkest neutral gray, which is N8, and he is done. Now we're moving on to the sleepy panda, and I am coloring once again the lighter parts of his body with C3, then moving on to C1, and then I am going to blend it all out using my colorless blender. Next up, I am moving on to the bamboo stick. At this point, I hadn't realized that he's supposed to be sleeping on his belly. I don't know what I was thinking, but I do fix that by the time I am putting all of the little characters together in the card. So I start with YG67 for my darkest tone for the bamboo, G43 for my mid-tone, and then YG03 for my lightest tone. And you can see it looks pretty washed out right now, so I am going back with a second coat, and that just makes everything look so much more vibrant and dimensional. At least I think it does. So now that I am done with the bamboo, I am moving on to the black areas of his fur, and I am starting with C8, coloring everywhere that I think would need to have a shadow. I am just filling in as much as I think it's necessary with that C8, and using my C5 I am filling in the rest of that white space, taking my time blending everything so that it looks neat and making sure that it looks pretty smooth. Now for the inside of the ears, once again I am using N8. This little panda right here was my favorite to color because it's holding a cute little heart, and I am coloring that heart red, and red is my favorite. I love coloring with red markers. Copics are fun, and it's even funner coloring reds. So once again, I'm starting with my lighter color combination here, and I made a tiny mistake. I don't know if you caught it, but instead of using C3 and C1, I believe I used C5 and C3, so he looks more gray than he does white, but that's okay because he still looks super cute. So here for the heart, I am using my favorite color combination, which is R89, R59, R46. And look how vibrant that cute red heart looks. Now moving on to the darker parts of the cute panda, I'm going back with my C8 just like I have done in the past two panda bears, and finishing it off with C5 and going back to the eyes that I forgot. I don't know what I was thinking. Color inside the eyes right there, the one eye on the left, but I'm gonna go back and fix it with my colorless blender here in just a minute. Right there, pushing that ink out, so that wasn't a big deal at all. And next up, I am coloring the inside of the ears, and he is so cute. Now the next part that I'm going to do is add some cute little highlights with my Posca paint pen. I have the smallest one. I can't remember what size it is. 0.07 mm, I think. And it's a white pen. If you don't have this kind of pen, you can use gel pen. Those work as well. But I am just choosing some random areas and doing little squiggly lines and dots here and there, just so that it has more of a cutesy feel to it. Now for the background, this is just a concoction that I made up to blend colors a while ago. I am using Forest Moss, Peel Paint, Mowed Lawn, and Twisted Citron in Distress inks. And using my brush, I am blending starting from the darkest color, which is Forest Moss, and I am coloring the edges. Here in a minute I'm going to start showing the lids for my inks in the corner. There you go, Forest Moss. And after I am happy with this one, I'm going to move on to the next one, which is Peel Paint. And the way that I do my backgrounds when I'm using inks like that is I always go back to the prior area that I colored before. So each new color, new lighter color, is going to go on top of all of those previous darker tones. I hope that makes sense. Mowed Lawn is next, and it's going back on top of everything that has been already colored and moving in a little bit more towards the center. And it did take a little bit of time because distress inks are not the easiest to blend with, at least for me. Distress oxides are awesome. I can do those with my eyes closed, but yeah, I am trying to learn how to use my inks better. Twisted Citron goes everywhere, especially in the center. And I am just blending. This is actually sped up to be about 8 times fast because I didn't want to bore you. Anyways, after I did the first layer, I went back and I did a second layer, which is sped up really fast. I didn't want to bore you showing you that. And then I used a circle die from my stash to just cut probably like a 2 or 3 inch in diameter circle using the background that I just blended. And I am cutting my base for my card using like an off-white beige cream type of cardstock, and it's gonna be a top fold one. And I felt like it needed a little bit extra something, so I decided to distress the edges using Vintage Photo, and that looks so much better to me. I am gluing that background that I just die cut in the center, and I did not place it dead center, so it bugged me until I decided to fix it later. And using some acrylic paint, I am just very messy applying some of those like big drops here and there, and I felt like it needed some more in some certain areas, so I did that manually. Now using my heat gun, I am heat setting everything because those paint blobs are pretty thick, so they were not getting dry quick enough. And this took me about 3 or 4 minutes of having the heat gun on top of it for it to completely get dried. I had stamped a sentiment that I didn't show here. And oh, by the way, here is where I am attempting to fix it. So I am cutting part of the right side and then going back with my brush and blending some of that ink again. Here is the sentiment. It says hang in there. It's part of the stamp set as well. And I'm trying to figure out how am I going to place this? Where does it look better? I didn't know if I wanted my cute little panda bear with the heart holding it, or behind it. I decided to go with this sentiment behind him because I didn't want that heart to be covered at all with anything. It's just too cute. And I placed my pandas. I finally realized right here that that cute sleepy panda is supposed to be sleeping on his belly. And yeah, it clicked. I don't know what I was thinking. So I am gluing all of my cute characters where they need to go. Look how cute they are. Oh my goodness. Anyways, so they're all placed right there, and now I'm going to do the sentiment right behind that panda in the front, and it needs, what are they called? Dovetails, fishtails, I don't remember. So I am cutting that on the end of the sentiment, and now it's perfect. So adding a little bit of glue and applying it right behind him just a little bit so that it all looks cohesive. And lastly, it just needs one more thing, well, two more things. I had leftover paper from the background and I didn't want it to go to waste because it was so pretty. And my card front still looked a little, I don't know, naked. So I decided to cut small strips of that same paper. They're about maybe 1/8 of an inch, if that. And I glue them on the top and the bottom right there. And now I am using that sequin mix from Pawsome stamps called Sparkling Mint, and I am just adding some bling all over wherever I feel like it needs it. And that definitely made the whole thing come together. I love the way that it looks. It turned out so cute. These pandas are adorable, and I am sure that if you guys make something with them, you're gonna love it too. These sequins are so sparkly. They were the perfect touch for finishing off the card. And there you guys have it. That is the complete project. I am so glad that you guys joined me today for this video. And don't forget to check out a couple of videos here. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.